Any moron knows the drugs are shipped in by the government. And then you want to bust me with some to put me in prison? I mean, I don't even eat your MSG. By the way, you know the type of drugs they put in our food? If you read those additives, every one of those pharmacological additives is just a drug that they got added as a food additive. Here's New Yorker magazine, The Caging of America. Why do we lock up so many people? And it goes on to report there's now 6 million people. 6 million people are under correctional supervision in the U.S., more than were in Stalin's gulags. Yeah, no one has ever done that. And by the way, all over the world, prison populations are skyrocketing. You know, you can't tell me the federal courts are real when they've been caught in all their fraud and they convict 98%. You think 98% are guilty? They only have that kind of conviction rate in North Korea and here. You can't tell me 6 million people in prison. And by the way, they're colleges of crime. You take somebody for a nonviolent offense, you put them in jail, ruin their future of having a career, they're going to get out only knowing criminals, and they're going to become criminals, which is what the system wants. They want to irrevocably destroy people's lives. This is a scorched earth, New World Order takeover system, period. I want to get your take on this and more. 800-259-9231. I got all the latest on Newt Gingrich and Mitt Romney. I'll get to it after some calls. You know, even rhinos cannot support Newt Gingrich. And I'm not saying that makes Mitt Romney good. It's just Gingrich, if it's possible, is even worse. And now Newt goes nuclear. Gingrich slams pro-abortion, pro-gun control, pro-tax increase, moderate Mitt Romney. Well, I mean, that's basically what Newt's been in the past, but flip-flopped. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's two globalists fighting with each other as if we've got to choose one of them. Meanwhile, Ron Paul is right in there with them, but the media never gives Ron Paul attention. They act like they're always asking, when are you going to drop out? But the key is more dirt's coming out on Gingrich, more's coming out on Romney, and as they destroy each other, Ron Paul moves up. Now, there's election fraud involved, but we know we're not going to win if we don't come to the table and fight. We won't even be able to expose the fraud if we don't fight. At least Ron Paul's in there injecting real issues. Also coming up, I've been telling you this forever because it was in a British Ministry of Defense report, 2007, but now they're telling the general public. UK riots, paratroopers are trained in riot control. British troops are being trained in riot control activities and fears that violence and looting will return to Britain's streets. Now, in the United States, the Army Times and all the other big publications are all Stars and Stripes, you name it, reporting that they're preparing for martial law. But then the national news attacks myself and Ron Paul for warning of this just because we actually read the Army Times. It's like, oh, look, they say they're going to do this. Oh, you're crazy. Because, see, they're not ready for you to know about this yet. So they communicate with each other. But then when someone actually reads it, that's a conspiracy theory. And Kurt Nimmo's got an article, British Army exercise to put down insurrection. You can see the drills here. I'm going to show you a photo of this. It's amazing. Gosh, look at that photo with them with the machine guns. All right, I've been ranting and covering news in the first hour. We're now into the second hour. Dr. Katherine Albrecht on the global internet censorship grid that's going into place is going to be joining us. Coming up in the third hour, we'll also take some calls in the second half of that. I do want to take your calls in this hour. There's a new article up at Infowars.com titled Indy Super Bowl, National Security State Protects Sports Fans from Prostitutes. We'll be telling you about that briefly after the break when we go to more calls. And it ties in with British Army exercises to put down insurrection. There's an amazing photo right here where it shows the British Army searching people and getting ready to roll this out on a wider scale. But right now, let's go ahead and go to some of your phone calls. Sam in the UK, speaking of the UK. Hi, Sam.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Long-time listener, about 3 years now. As I'm speaking now, I can feel my chest kind of, like my blood boil. Because every day, if it's not one thing, it's the other thing, and it's just on top of each other all the time. I had a little list I was going to talk about, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a bit concerned about the internet. Obviously, without the internet, if if there was no internet, I wouldn't have known about you. I wouldn't know about your films. I wouldn't be a Prisonplanet member or anything like that. If they do take it down, what do you think is the next step? What do you think we can do about it?
Well, no, they're going to selectively start taking it down with these excuses they've got that don't have due process. Shutting down websites, shutting down content, banning individuals through a biometric internet ID. So that's the thing. People are like, oh, biometrics, I'll thumbprint to go to Disney World or, you know, to get in the gym or whatever. Then then they can turn off your thumbprint and the place won't even accept your cash. This is what's globally going to be standardized. You've got a thumbprint even to use cash. Now they can stop you from buying and selling. Now they can add any taxes or fines or fees they want. They're now about to try to implement everything we've warned you about. All of this has just been the globalists getting a standardized New World Order in place. Now they're preparing to launch the whole thing on the people. And so they've gone from building it and beta testing it to now just openly overthrowing the Bill of Rights, Constitution, Magna Carta in the UK, and saying it's gone, admitting they're spying on you, taking your children for no reason, putting video cameras in the homes of people when they have kids, preemptively like they're criminals, beyond 1984, just total evil. Banning protesting in many cities in London and other areas, as you know, tracking everybody. I mean, the crooks, when they start shutting down the web, that's when they start arresting political dissidents. That's when they'll kill me. That's when they'll start their garbage. And that's when people then have to defend themselves. I mean, you can't just let a bunch of total criminal scum come and take you and your family away and do God knows what with your children. I mean, these are people that think it's funny to kill kids on average. I mean, they have sick demons working for them. They've gone through the police and the military and found the sick demons and promoted them. And we're facing unmitigated evil. I don't know how to describe it, sir.
I mean, so Alex, I was trying to say to all the Americans, I've never been to America. I see it on TV. I think, yeah, one day I'm going to go down there. But I'm just going to say, like, you guys need to look after the Second Amendment. You need to make sure you look after that, because that is the one thing that's gonna protect anything that you got. You know what I mean? You got to look after that.
You're right. In fact, guys, I didn't see it printed from our article. I saw the Ammo Land story. Will you print me the InfoWars version? It'll be in the archives now of our article about New Jersey moves to ban all handgun ammo, most rifle ammo. God bless you from the UK, Sam. Anything else?
That's it, man. Just take care of yourself, and we got your back. We're doing everything we can.
Well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we better use the internet while we've still got it. That's what I keep saying. I mean, this is not a game. This is not a game. A bunch of greedy, arrogant control freaks in all their little fancy business suits commanding huge paramilitary armies believe they can take down our society worldwide. They believe that they can install their enforcement of despotism against us. Well, they're a bunch of illegal criminals who have proven that by their actions and are illegitimate. And I declare independence against the transhumanist, eugenics, death cult known as the New World Order. You are illegitimate, criminal, degenerate scum. You are lawless trash, and you are not my rulers. I am a sovereign American, and people are sovereign worldwide as human beings. I'm not only a sovereign American because America is only based on the fact that the individual is sovereign, endowed by their creator with unalienable rights. You can pass laws all day saying I'm your slave. I'm not, scum. And have you noticed that as we lose our liberties and as our freedoms are flushed down the toilet, as the oxygen leaves the room, the prosperity leaves as well? That's the thing. You want freedom. Anytime a system, a corporate system, a government system tries to get rid of basic freedoms, basic checks and balances, look out. Look out. And boy, is it lookout time. You think stuff's bad now? This is an engineered depression. I'm going to go to Jim, Wilson, Angie, and others. The toll-free number to join us on air is 800-259-9231. And I want your view on the news, on Ron Paul, on military in Europe, the U.S., England, openly trying to take on the people now. They've gone from denying it to admitting it, saying they'll secretly arrest us, tasering and attacking peaceful demonstrators all over the country. Those videos are pouring in. An incredible piece of legislation out of New Jersey, and they've got similar ones in California and other areas. New Jersey bill aims to ban all handgun ammo, some rifle ammo. If you think I'm joking, we have links to the NRA and Ammo Land on this, and we've read the bill. It also bans any alteration on a gun. You add some kind of sights, you do something, it's called defacing. It's illegal. In an end run around an all-out gun ban, the New Jersey Assembly of Law and Public Safety Committee is set to consider legislation that would ban ammunition under the auspices of protecting police. And you got to love this idea that the police, if anything could, well, cars could kill a cop. Better ban those. The police on record said they don't have to protect us. It's not their job to. They're really there to enforce revenue collection. But then, and if they do protect you, it takes 10, 15 minutes to get there when they do their job or are allowed to. But you shouldn't be able to have a gun like Chicago or New York or England. But then they have guns to protect themselves. The language seemingly targets the already prohibited armor-piercing ammunition, but would encompass any ammo that is deemed to, quote, pose a threat to the safety and well-being of law enforcement. And the well-being. Ammo Land is reporting that the common hunting, target, and self-defense ammunition would be subject to ban along with BBs, airgun pellets, and non-metallic ammunition like plastic airsoft pellets. The NRA concurs, and it goes through the whole deal. We have a link to the bill. Here's another little juicy that just went up at Infowars.com, and then I'm going to your phone calls. Okay, continuing here. Indy Super Bowl, national security state protects sports fans from prostitutes. You just heard me right. Remember Aaron Dykes' article last week off Homeland Security press releases where they said, we are going to federalize your police. We're going to hire your police. We're going to have checkpoints, mobile trucks, body scanners, house scanners. They're already on the streets in many areas. We're going to finance, all these new face scanning cameras, license plate readers. We're taking over, but not to even fight foreign terrorism. No, the new thing is domestic groups, anti-government groups, and crime. And Kurt Nimmo has links here to the government's own press releases that all criminal activity, including pickpocketing and prostitution, Homeland Security, federal police, and TSA are going to be there fighting crime. No more jurisdiction, always inserting themselves in any big event. I mean, the last few years, they've had big sis up on telescreens telling the people there to watch each other. I mean, just a totally paranoid, whacked out, sick culture. Meanwhile, Al-Qaeda publicly works for the banks that run the U.S. They've given Al-Qaeda Libya, they're giving them Syria, they're giving them everything. Indianapolis, local cops and FBI have set up a massive surveillance grid ahead of the Super Bowl. They have behavioral scanning cameras on February 5th. The heightened security, including a smartphone photo and video surveillance network, the installation of 150 new manhole covers, like terrorists will put bombs in them, and virtual lockdown of a 44-block area is not response to any possible attack by Al-Qaeda,